Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. I'm Wyatt.
Justin.
And Monty.
Today we're taking a look at the Cristobal Elegancia. And Cristobal, of course, made by Ashton. This is a beautiful looking stick. I believe a Connecticut. Looks like a Connecticut. Really, just almost creamy looking color to the wrapper. Really, really nice. Very, very smooth, oily. You know, not like sandpaper at all. Just very, very smooth. Seams are pretty well done. Got quite a few stems and everything, but just looks great. Pretty firm pack, except for the foot for me. Otherwise, yeah, it looks beautiful. Let's see on the aromas. I don't get much on the wrapper. Mostly, it's just kind of a typical Connecticut type of smell. A little bit of sweet tobacco, and then on the foot, maybe some nuttiness, like a peanut butter. That's about it. Just.
Yeah, it's a wonderful stick. I do also have a very firm pack, and I got two little hairline cracks right here, but I don't think there'll be an issue. I think it'll burn right through. Seams are done well. Overall, just a beautiful looking, very smooth wrapper. I agree. The aroma of the wrapper, just a mild tobacco aroma to me. Not much else going on there. But the foot, I would definitely agree. Kind of like a creamy nut, like a peanut butter. I could totally agree with that, and definitely a lot more of that sweet tobacco.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot new to say other than what the other guys have said. It's a really pretty cigar, really pretty band. The seams are done well on this one. A little bit lumpy, but it's a hand rolled cigar. There's one really weird stem at the foot that's a little concerning. It's really prominent, but I think in the end it'll probably be okay. And just what the guys were saying, just kind of a creamy nuttiness and a sweetness on the foot, and just a nice Connecticut aroma that you know so well off the wrapper. So looks really good.
I'm just gonna cut up, lit up, see how it goes.
No wind.
Still your winner?
Yeah, I'm gonna set them out there for everybody.
No wind tonight, so we can finally use a soft one.
We're gonna jinx it when we start.
Yeah. Wyatt, I told you I lost my Zycar scissors for like the last month.
Yeah, found it?
Chris found them last night in the same place, in the seal of the washer, the front load washer. That rubber seal on the front, they were wedged in there. Good stainless steel, because they probably got them through 20 or 30 loads of laundry.
Rusted out.
No, that looks great.
That wasn't a plug, by the way. We are not endorsed by Zycar.
But if Zycar would like to pitch in here, we'd be thrilled to have them.
Yes. We don't turn down free stuff.
No, we're not above accepting, I hate to say payola or plugola, but bribes is a better word.
Free crap.
Yeah, that's
Just don't say the S word.
it's the most PC way to put it. Back to the cigar. That's a great start. I got to say the finish doesn't last very long, but the smoke is very creamy. It's got a little bit of bite to it. Maybe a little bit of pepper rolling around on my tongue, but mostly just that sweet tobacco, general Connecticut for me. That's about it. What do you guys think?
I've got a little bit of a tight draw, but yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I don't get any sweet tobacco. I just get a nice creaminess to the smoke, but that pepper right on the front of my tongue, but it goes away really quickly and then just dives into a mild tobacco flavor.
Yeah, I'd agree with Justin. The pepper is there. Not a very long finish. It's a nice finish, but nothing really grabbing me yet.
Let's get into the first third, see how it develops.
Well, we're about 10 minutes into this Cristobal Elegancia. I'm really enjoying it so far, but I have to say the finish isn't really lasting quite as long as I would have wanted. And with as good as this cigar smelled, I was hoping for a little bit more in terms of taste. That pepper is still there, and it's kind of dying out. But something I've noticed just looking at Bonnie and Justin's cigars is we all seem to have the exact same burn. We have one kind of V-ing area that isn't quite a burn problem. I mean, I don't see any reason to fix it up, but we all seem to have it. So I don't know. That's kind of bizarre. I've never seen that in a cigar before. But yeah, I mean, so far it's fine, but nothing really jumping out at me.
Yeah, well, Wyatt said it's a great little smoke. Not super complex. I'm still getting a bit of that pepper, but it's gone as fast as it comes into the flavor profile. The finish is relatively short. Just goes into a nice, clean, mild tobacco. I don't get much sweet tobacco. Um, the creaminess of the smoke is still there, but there's a bit of, I don't want to say harshness, but a bit of unrefined characteristic to this cigar. I think I'm the only one getting it. It's still very, very good, but it's got something about it that just doesn't scream super smooth to me. But so far, I am really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm really liking it also. I don't know if I would call it a harshness, but there's a little bit more oomph there than your average Connecticut. Um, I'm really enjoying it. My burn's not bad. It's pretty good. I haven't touched it up at all. The ash is still, I'm probably going to have to ash it. It's about to get loose, but like the guys were saying, not a long finish at all, but I'm definitely enjoying it so far.
Well, let's get into the second, third, approach the midpoint.
Well, we're about halfway on this San Cristobal Elegancia. You know, the band has two wrappers, and I took the band has two bands, I guess, whatever. I took off the slightly smaller band, and it took out a huge chunk of the wrapper right along with it. So I'm not too impressed with that. That looks like it's going to be a construction issue. I don't know if it's going to burn right through it, but the flavor of this cigar is getting significantly better in the second half. I got to say, there wasn't much to it in the first half, but it seems like now there's a lot more dimension, and I'm getting that sort of peanut butter taste. The finish is lasting a lot longer. It's also got more of a bite to it. That pepper is really coming back into play. So far so good in the second half. I hope it stays this good up until the end.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This cigar really is coming into itself. That creaminess texture is built up with a nice nuttiness. And I guess peanut butter is the best taste attribute to that. I'm still getting a very nice, mellow tobacco flavor as well. Pepper has picked up a little bit. Still isn't. It's more potent, but it just lasts very faintly for me. Still just very mild in body and strength, but very, very nice. That harshness or unrefined flavor that I kind of talked about, it's really kind of gone away. It's kind of really smoothed out, even though there's still a little bit of a pepper hit to it. I'm really enjoying this cigar now. It's really come into itself.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely has gotten better. Even just in the last half an inch of cigar, I've noticed it's really gotten better. Not that I ever thought it was bad, but mine just no pepper, no spice, no harshness. You know, just really good creaminess. A tiny bit of sweetness, maybe a little bit, but not much. But just a really enjoyable cigar. I touched up the burn just on an off spot a little bit a few minutes ago, but other than that, it's really burning well. No issues with the wrapper whatsoever. I did take the main top band off. Didn't have any issues like Wyatt did, so I'm really happy with this cigar.
Well, let's get into the final third. See if we get any changes.
Well, we're at the final third. Boy, this last half, I don't quite want to take back everything that I said in the last update, but gosh, my construction has just been terrible. I don't think it was my problem taking up that bottom part of the wrapper or the band. You know, it took up so much of the wrapper. I think that was more the band's problem, and that has just created construction issue after construction issue, and I've been lighting up parts of the wrapper that are coming off, and at this point it doesn't even taste good, and it's not worth the trouble. You know, the wrapper's just all cracked up. Justin and Monty don't seem to have that problem, so maybe I just got a bum stick, but you know, I got to say, I'm not really impressed. San Cristobal, though, every other San Cristobal cigar I've had, I've enjoyed, so I'd probably give this one another shot if I ran across it in a humidor, or, you know, for a good deal. I'd probably light up another one, see what I thought of it. Flavors were really consistent in the second half. They definitely did pick up, but I had so many construction issues after a while that I wasn't even focused on the flavor. I was just kind of focused on, you know, how can I make sure it's still burning somewhat okay. So, like I said, I definitely want to try another one and see if I have these sorts of problems. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this one. I'll give it a 6.5. If I really enjoyed it, I could see this being like an 8 or maybe even a 9. But just these construction issues really dampen my opinion of this cigar. So, like I said, might try another one, but we'll see.
I enjoyed it. really well. I didn't have any of the issues why it did, but my bands came off without a hitch. So no real updates on flavor or strength with me. It's still very mild. Uh, just kind of keep it par from the course from the update at the halfway point. I really enjoyed it. I would give it a nice 8.5. The only thing I knock about it is it took half the cigar to really come into itself. Not that the first part of the cigar was bad, it just doesn't have the dimension the second half did. And I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'd give it a nice 8.5. I'd definitely smoke it again. I think it is a really nice, morning cigar, afternoon cigar. A little light for the end of the evening, but it's a great cigar, like a chaser cigar, as you said. You've had your really nice, full-bodied, complex, in-your-face cigars, but you just want one more. This is a great cigar for that. But I really enjoyed it.
What he said, I mean, more or less exactly what Justin said. Mine took about an inch, maybe an inch and a half to really get good, but after that, it's been really good. Construction issues, burn issues, there's one tiny little thing early on that was fixed. I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed it because it wasn't super light and super sweet. It doesn't have much of a finish, but it's still definitely enjoyable. And I think anymore we get too wrapped around the axle about, oh, it's got a Connecticut wrapper, it's a weak cigar, or it's not going to be good, or it's not going to be this or that. Cigars are only judged on how dark they are. And I really enjoy this. I think the only way this would get better for me personally is maybe if it was a little longer, like a Churchill size or something. But really good. I'd give it an 8.5. I really like this cigar. I really recommend it.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.